On your way, no one know. On your way, no one know. No one know, no way. No one know, no way. On your way, no one know. On your way, no one know. No one know, no way. No one know, no way.
Our next presenter is Paul Winnie, who's going to be talking about colonization's devastating effect, an opinion paradigm shift to recognize rights of nature. Paul is an enrolled member of the Tonawanda Seneca Nation, which is one of the 6 nations of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. He belongs to the Wolf Clan and resides on territory located in so-called Western New York, 30 miles east of Lake Erie and 30 miles south of Lake Ontario. He is a land defender and water protector. Welcome, Paul.
Yahweh Skano Gogoigo. Jois Igaso. So my Seneca name is Jois, which is chirping bird. And I wanted to talk this connection of paradigm shift. And I just wanted to say that the people here, even though we're a small group, will carry the message just like the tributaries of the Great Lakes. And that this message, will get out there and we can do this. I really want to emphasize that we're here to see this out with our heart, and that's what's going to win out in the end. Was saving that for the end, but I wanted to say that right up front. And I been talking before about indigenous perspective on things, and I didn't plan a speech per se for this, but I've thought about it a lot, and so I'm going to kind of wing a couple things. When I titled it "My Opinion," what the work we have to do is to get this word out however we can that resonates with whoever individuals you're talking to. So my opinion is a phrase that also means point of view, attitude, thought, judgment, perception, my belief, and value. So whatever works to get this into somebody else's thoughts through our education is what the opinion is. And so all your messages will help create this change and the recognition of our connection with nature. When we talked about where I live, the Seneca reservation, so I have a 30-minute drive either way to either lake. And I consider the place where I live, which is only 7,500 acres, that's all we've been left with after our original reservation was reduced. And the colonization that the indigenous people endure is ongoing. And it's ongoing to the point where everybody's being colonized all the time. This day is still part of that colonization process. I appreciate the words that everybody had said, and It's kind of hard to add to all of that, but I did write a few things down that I wanted to get across. In terms of the indigenous genocide that's also ongoing, is we do have a language that's nature-based, so it gives us an opportunity to really still hang on to this from a cultural aspect, to the rights of nature, because it's in our language and it's in our ceremonies, and it's actually in our lifestyle. And the place where I live is not governed by taxes and town rules and all that kind of stuff in the present day society. So I actually have experience of freedom that not everybody gets to enjoy. And I live in the woods. Basically, I built a log cabin when I decided to move out of my parents' house and live on my own. And so I kind of have, I guess, a history of connection, because I cut down trees myself and took a year to build a log cabin by myself, by hand. And that has led me throughout my life to keep myself connected. And I still live in it. It's part of my existing house. It's just another part of it. The part what everybody had said, I wanted to summarize in connection with colonization some of the speakers and what I was taking out of this. If you don't agree with me, we'll talk about it. If you agree with me, then it's you and me, and you and me makes us. So let's grow on that. But in the beginning, Sundance did a great job of explaining everything. And the creator, which we call the great mystery because nobody knows what God is really, gave us the responsibility to come here to help and have responsibility for being here and taking care of it, and with respect. So that's, we went on to talk about the doctrine of discovery, which led to colonization. And I've taken a lot of time to follow that issue in the present time. So that's the root of our this property, like she said. And with the movement for us, our native, and being what a Haudenosaunee or any of the other nations, is to strive is to have autonomy and sovereignty in a true sense, not by the plenary powers of the United States Congress. And moving into the future for our seventh generations that he talked about, we have to somehow get that changed. I know if the Pope rescinds it, the doctrine and the wordage, it's still codified in United States law. And that's where the problem is in terms of our sovereignty, true sovereignty. I know. So I was glad she did talk about that. When Dave talked about I thought that education is a form, or the education system is a form of colonization, and that actions need to happen at the student level so that they can get experience in this right away. I don't know about you, but I wasn't proactive into doing this stuff when I was younger. But I think in that arena where they are at the schools, it's because I kind of think out of the box. It's like give them the power to do stuff or let them work at it right away so that they experience it and can make a change. Because obviously, like they said, that our generations dropped the ball, and they also talked about climate change, and then I got thinking that shouldn't it be called earth change because it's not climate. We're changing the earth and everything on it. So it's a earth crisis in my mind. They also talked about Lake Erie, but they didn't really experience the lake in its true form. They were stuck with the dead catfish and the smelly water and the toxic threat of illness. And that's what was my takeaway, is that that's what we deserve in this Great Lakes Reckoning, is to be able to get back to having the lakes be realized for what they are. I did some research on a few weeks ago when I was kind of basically depressed of all the other activism that I was doing, and thought about this conference and thought I should understand the Great Lakes a little more before I spoke. And unfortunately, that was not fun because the documentaries and stuff made me realize that in my backyard, basically, this pollution is, the lakes are in a very bad state. And from my location, the Tonawanda Creek runs through our territory and empties into the Niagara River. And when the one thing that I was listening to expanded, like that one artist picture, that when we talk about the Great Lakes, it's a huge, huge watershed that we're actually talking about. And then whenever this bill gets passed, it's going to have to go back into where these waters come from, because I guess I would say the lake's a big hole that's only filled with all the pollution that's coming downstream from all the other rivers. Like my Tonawanda Creek is one of the main contributaries running east and west that gets to the river. And, it picks up all the fertilizers and contamination along the way, and that's happening all around this huge system. So when she talked about the K-flow, it's colonized farming. I'm just trying to draw a comparison to all these things, and that what we're eating is unnatural food. So she also talked about what do we do about this, and it's what we term in Indian country as decolonization, and we have to be put ourselves in a different frame of mind, a new frame of mind, where we decolonize ourselves and non-conform to what's already existing out there. And when Valerie talked a little bit, I was thinking that even though she writes and stuff, that people need to listen and listen to the message of the drum that the media and her stories and her writings are doing. Take the time to really listen to what's out there, because things get twisted around quite easily. In our ceremonies, you know, the drum represents the beat of the heart. So that's a way that we're connected in our ceremonies to nature. So there's other, because the culture that we have and try to hang on to is something that's basically lost by the European culture, because things like that were stripped away, because we were all indigenous peoples at one time. And I think somewhere along the way, certain people lost that connection. And in terms of reality today, it's in your DNA to hopefully bring that back out. The medical issues that were talked about in terms of having a connection with, reconnecting, if you would, with nature, is that we have plant medicines that connects and heals us to nature. In terms of following through with all of these things, the Creator gave us a brain, and the brain is a gift, a medicine gift, to use it to help heal whatever. So when Susan talked, I was thinking of the EPA, DEC, or whoever you want to talk about, regulating the destruction of nature. It's they're supposed to, I guess they would be called nature's friendly enemy. They also talk about, when they talked about Love Canal, I know in terms of history, in that area also, going back to LaSalle, when LaSalle came to Seneca territory, Niagara River in western New York, they actually built the first ship to navigate the Great Lakes, was built right in that area around Cayuga River. And so in terms of colonization, that was the beginning of the end for the lakes, because that created the exploration and development and all the goals of the colonizers to get into that area. And according to like the Great Lakes situation, somebody recently for my birthday just gave me a bumper sticker that said, we're protectors, not protesters. So that's how I treat all of you, is into the protector club. The artwork that was expressed is a tool and a message of sight versus words. And I thought those were very interesting and thought-provoking. So the tools that we need to get this accomplished are things like that. And I always consider artists, music artists, and drawing artists or artists of any kinds are really poets of the soul because they have their own special gift to bring these things to light. Um, so I guess what I try to do when I talk to people, and I generally feel, I guess I sometimes turn me as a true speaker, but when I talk to people, they're always agreeing with me. Yes, that's a good idea. That's a good point. But I think that paradigm shift is the part of the paradigm shift that it has to start with all of us individuals, and everybody here I think has already made that step, is to identify who we really are inside as a person and establish that so that you can help other people in whatever way you can, because you have to start with yourself and be truthful to yourself completely and get into a individual transformation. So this whole thing is a lot more complex than just a few sentences and ideas, because it's really a paradigm shift is needed to do this change. But like I said, it really has to change in a change in humanity. And I see a few heads nodding. So that's pretty much what I meant by the paradigm shift and getting yourself connected to nature, because nature is, I'm sure you all love to go outside and feel better or need a vacation, and you get that. Well, that's its way of your sort of vibrating and picking up the actual vibrations of the earth and touching the earth, that you're being grounded even electrically through touching the earth naturally with your hands and your bare feet. And that's basically what I want to explain, is that we all need to hopefully incorporate or have other people realize that. I could go on and on. I I was talking to a friend of mine that, and she said, "Boy, you always bring me down every time we talk, because we're always like that one lady says, it's very hard to be in this position. But it gives you strength, and it has allowed me to meet a lot of very nice people like yourselves and make friendships. And I started out doing, well, I've been involved with Native rights in little different ways. I mean, a lot of it heated up in the mid '90s when we were fighting New York State over taxation on the territories, and closed the thruway down, which that was fun. And I didn't, but I've always been in favor of, I guess, the underdog in a way, but which we are. And I know I didn't explain that one item that we had is that the system is rigged against us. So whether it's the courts or whatever, so the change has to come where we, like David talked about, it's we need to, and unfortunately everything has to be done very quickly. Otherwise, it's going to be to the end before, or past that point where of repair, so to speak. So As usual, I would say if anybody wants to continue the conversation with me, one way or the other, you're welcome to talk to me later. And again, I thank everybody for coming, and I thank the uh, the organizers for having me here. Nawe, Tanyo.
On your way, no one no. On your way, no one no. No one no, no way. No one no, no way. On your way, no one no. On your way, no one no. No one no, no way. No one no, no way. No one no. No